In the world of academia, a silent specter lurks, exam phobia. As the clock ticks, anxiety takes hold, heart races, and palms sweat. Join us in exploring the depths of this pervasive fear and discover the keys to unlocking confidence in the face of exams. This is the journey through exam phobia, a tale of challenges, resilience, and triumph.
Exams are stressful, but stress doesn't have to take over your life. If we understand the science of how it works, we can make it work for us. When faced with a potentially stressful situation, angry parents, driving tests, or, yes, exams.
In the hustle and bustle of life, stress can often take center stage, casting a shadow on our well-being. But fear not, for within this chaos lies the power to manage stress. Step into a realm of self-discovery and resilience. Begin by acknowledging the stress, then, in the symphony of daily life, find moments of solace. Engage in activities that soothe the soul, be it a deep breath, a walk in nature, or a brief pause for mindfulness. Explore the avenues of self-care, exercise, and time management for sustained relief. Join us on this journey where the art of stress management becomes a transformative force, empowering you to navigate life's challenges with grace and The Yerkes-Dodson Law, a psychological gem by Robert Yerkes and John Dodson. Unveiling the dance between stress and performance, this law explores the sweet spot of arousal for optimal cognitive function. Let us share a brief journey into the delicate balance that shapes our psychological landscape.
The Yerkes-Dodson Law is a model of the relationship between stress and task performance. It proposes that you reach your peak level of performance depending on your level of stress, and that too little or too much results in poorer performance. Let's go a little deeper into how the Yerkes-Dodson Law relates to stress and performance. The Yerkes-Dodson Law can be depicted as an upside-down U-shaped curve. The left side of the curve represents low arousal, or low stress, while the right side represents high arousal, or high stress. The center is a medium level of arousal or stress, while the entire curve represents the quality of performance. Yerkes and Dodson hypothesized that as arousal or stress increases, the ability to perform a task also increases as the pressure gives you sufficient motivation. But that works only up to a certain point known as the optimal level. As stress surpasses that point, performance begins to deteriorate. In other words, when stress gets too high, performance decreases. For example, when your job is all about routine and nothing ever changes, boredom sets in. There's no stress, but there's also no motivation. You're not being challenged and have no incentive to go above and beyond. However, when your job involves a high-profile project or one that involves more than your present skills or capabilities, it becomes the test that could break you. In these types of situations, stress and anxiety are ramping up to an unmanageable level. Stress is now working against you. The sweet spot is in the middle. Basically, you need just enough stress to provide motivation. This can result in a stress response that provides the energy you need, just when you need it. The stress lasts long enough to help you perform your best. The Yerkes-Dodson Law suggests that there's an optimal level of arousal that results in optimal performance. Too little arousal doesn't provide much in the way of motivation, while too much arousal causes a stronger stress reaction that can hamper performance. Getting to that optimal arousal zone is the sweet spot for achieving your best performance.
Anxiety is your body's reaction to stress and can occur even if there's no current threat. If anxiety doesn't go away and begins to interfere with your life, it could affect your health. There are several coping strategies you can try to reduce your anxiety and stress. Keep a journal to help identify and challenge your negative and unhelpful thoughts. Do a body scan to identify physical symptoms of stress and anxiety in your body, like headaches or body pain. Download an app that provides relaxation or mindfulness exercises, such as deep breathing or visualization. Exercise, eat healthy, avoid caffeine, and stick to a sleep routine. And reach out to your friends or family members who can help you cope in a positive way. If you are still struggling to cope or the symptoms won't go away, share how you're feeling with a parent or trusted adult. It may be time to talk to a healthcare professional.
Immediate fear of poor results might seem at the heart of the issue. The causes run deeper, weaving a complex tapestry influenced by a multitude of factors. Let's explore some key strands in this intricate maze. Environmental threats. The shadow of expectations, parents, teachers, peers, and even society can cast long shadows of expectation, their unspoken demands and subtle comparisons feeding the flames of anxiety. The fear of disappointing these figures, or failing to meet their perceived standards, can be paralyzing. Learning in the eye of a storm. A harsh or competitive academic environment can amplify anxiety. Rigid teaching styles, frequent criticism, and an atmosphere of constant evaluation can chip away at confidence and fuel the fear of failure. The crushing weight of comparison. In a world fueled by social media and academic pressure, it's easy to fall prey to the comparison trap. Witnessing the successes of others can trigger feelings of inadequacy and doubt, leading to the belief that success is always just out of reach. Psychological tangled threads. The dreaded F word, fear of failure, looms large in the landscape of exam phobia. This fear might stem from previous negative experiences, linking academic performance to self-worth and identity. The potential consequences of failure, whether real or perceived, become overwhelming, leading to avoidance behaviors or performance freezes. The fragile glass of self-esteem. When self-belief is cracked, even minor challenges can seem insurmountable. Students with low self-esteem may harbor doubts about their capabilities, leading to a self-fulfilling prophecy where anxiety hinders performance and reinforces negative beliefs. The echo chamber of negative thoughts. Our inner critic can be a harsh companion, especially during high-pressure situations. Catastrophizing, ruminating on past failures, and focusing on worst-case scenarios can create a toxic echo chamber of anxiety, magnifying the fear of exams. Coping mechanisms lost in the fog. Without healthy coping mechanisms to navigate stress and anxiety, individuals are more vulnerable to the grip of exam phobia. Unhealthy behaviors like procrastination, substance abuse, or even complete avoidance become temporary escapes, ultimately exacerbating the issue. Other threads woven into the web. Learning difficulties in the shadows. Underlying learning difficulties can act as hidden threads, contributing to frustration and anxiety. Undiagnosed or unaddressed conditions can make studying and performing feel like an uphill battle, fueling the fear of inadequacy and failure. Mental health. An additional layer of complexity. Mental health conditions like anxiety disorders, depression, or ADHD can heighten the susceptibility to exam phobia. These conditions can make it harder to manage stress, focus on studying, and regulate emotions, creating a perfect storm for anxiety to flourish. Exam phobia is not a singular knot, but rather a complex braid of internal and external factors. Recognizing these intricate threads is crucial for individuals and their support systems to find ways to untangle the anxiety and pave the path towards success. Remember, seeking professional help and developing healthy coping mechanisms are key steps in unraveling this fear and reclaiming the confidence to perform at your best.
Cognitive behavioral therapy, rethinking the thought maze. CBT rewires your mind for mental well-being. Presenting you short video about CBT.
Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is an evidence-based form of psychotherapy. It is effective for a range of problems including depression, anxiety disorders, eating disorders, and addiction. CBT was developed in the 1960s by psychiatrist Aaron Beck. CBT helps people learn how to identify and change destructive thought patterns that have a negative effect on behavior and emotions. The maladaptive thought patterns addressed often include automatic thoughts, cognitive distortions, and underlying core beliefs. The ultimate goal of CBT is to address these negative patterns of thinking and subsequent behaviors. CBT includes exercises in the session as well as homework, where patients learn to change their own thinking, problematic emotions, and behavior. Exercises may include journaling, role-playing, stress reduction techniques, and cognitive reframing.
Navigating the Emotional Maelstrom, a deep dive into the emotional symptoms of exam phobia. Exam phobia, its chilling tendrils reaching far beyond sweaty palms and racing hearts, unleashes a potent emotional tsunami within the minds of many. It's not just the physical tremors and the gnawing fear of failure, it's a complex tapestry woven from fear, doubt, and despair, each thread twisting and tangling to create a maelstrom of emotions that can cripple even the most prepared student. Let's embark on a deeper exploration of this emotional hurricane, delving into the swirling vortex of feelings that exam phobia can conjure. Fear's dazzling dance, panic's chaotic waltz, and overwhelming, paralyzing fear takes center stage, its tendrils constricting breath and clouding thinking. Panic attacks, tremors, and a gnawing sense of impending doom become unwelcome companions, transforming studying into a battlefield and exams into an insurmountable fortress. Shame's corrosive embrace, the specter of failure intertwines with fear, breeding a corrosive shame that whispers of worthlessness and inadequacy. This venomous self-talk, fueled by the imagined judgments of others, erodes confidence and makes facing exams feel like wading through a mire of self-loathing. Helplessness in the face of the storm. When anxiety's icy grip tightens, a chilling sense of helplessness can set in. Students feel like puppets at the mercy of their emotions, devoid of control over their performance and consumed by the overwhelming tide of fear. Doubt's insidious whispers. Self-criticism's serpent. The inner critic, usually a mere murmur, morphs into a venomous serpent during exam season. Its biting whispers of negativity erode confidence, leaving students questioning their abilities and knowledge. The very act of studying becomes a Sisyphean task, forever undone by the serpent's relentless doubts. Imposter syndrome's shadow. The fear of being a fraud, of not deserving success, casts a long shadow over many struggling with exam phobia. This gnawing feeling of unworthiness hinders motivation and performance, making students feel like imposters masquerading as competent individuals. Exam phobia's emotional footprint is vast and complex, a kaleidoscope of negative emotions that can significantly impact performance and well-being. Recognizing these emotions is the first step toward reclaiming control. Talking to therapists, counselors, or trusted friends, coupled with the development of healthy coping mechanisms and stress management techniques, can help navigate this emotional maelstrom. Remember, you are not alone in this storm. With the right tools and support, you can weather the emotional deluge and find calm waters where confidence and joy in learning can once again flourish. Conquering exam stress, professional mindfulness and relaxation techniques. Exam season can be a stressful time for students of all ages. The pressure to perform and the fear of failure can lead to anxiety, sleepless nights, and decreased focus. But fret not. By incorporating mindfulness and relaxation techniques into your pre-exam routine, you can transform stress into calm concentration and peak performance. Here are some professional-grade strategies to help you ace your exams with composure. 1. Deep breathing for inner peace. Belly breaths. Sit comfortably with your back straight and eyes closed. Place one hand on your belly and the other on your chest. Inhale slowly through your nose, feeling your belly expand. Exhale slowly through your mouth, feeling your belly contract. Repeat for 5 to 10 minutes. This simple exercise activates the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting relaxation and focus. 2. Progressive muscle relaxation for total release. Tense and release. Start by tensing and relaxing your toes for 5 seconds each. Move up your body, tensing and releasing your calves, thighs, core, arms, shoulders, and face. Focus on the feeling of tension melting away with each exhale. This technique effectively reduces muscle tension and promotes overall calmness. 3. Guided meditation for mental clarity. Visualization. Find a quiet space and listen to a guided meditation. Imagine yourself in a peaceful setting, like a serene beach or a lush forest. Engage all your senses, feel the warm sand beneath your feet, hear the gentle waves lapping, smell the fresh air. This visualization technique quiets the mind and promotes mental clarity. 4. Mindful movement for energy flow. Gentle yoga. Practice gentle yoga stretches or light aerobics to release tension and boost energy levels. Focus on your breath and the movement of your body. Mindful movement improves circulation, reduces stress hormones, and enhances cognitive function. 5. Journaling for emotional release. Write it out. Dedicate 10 to 15 minutes to journaling your thoughts and feelings about the upcoming exams. Acknowledge your anxieties and fears, then write down positive affirmations and affirmations of your capabilities. Journaling helps process emotions, reduces stress, and builds confidence. Remember, consistency is key. Integrate these techniques into your daily routine well before exams to reap the full benefits.
Conquering your exams with positive self-talk. Exams can be stressful, but the right mindset can make a big difference. Here's a short video on positive affirmations.
Hey, Mindfulness Maya here.
And Carlton.
Today, we wanted to talk to you all about another simple but very important way to practice mindfulness. It's called self-talk.
Now, there are different kinds of self-talk. It can be positive and negative. What we want to look at and try to practice is positive self-talk.
Positive self-talk can look and sound like this. Maybe you're really stressed about homework or responsibilities. Instead of worrying about how much you have to do, try saying, I know I have a lot to do, but I can handle it. I can do this. This can motivate you and maybe even make the load feel lighter.
Another way to practice positive self-talk can sound like this. Maybe you're feeling sad because you don't have things that others might have. Well, try to tell yourself, I wish I had this, but that's okay. I don't need this thing to feel complete.
Positive self-talk can be as simple as telling yourself that you're awesome or smart, which is great. In this video, though, we're going to teach you how to be a little more specific.
Now, we only gave you 2 examples, but there are many others. If you want to talk to yourself more positively but you don't know where to start, try using Maya and I's luck strategy.
L stands for look. Look around and think about what's going on. Is there a specific problem that's making you need to give yourself positive self-talk? Take a minute to consider those things first.
U stands for understand. Understand what you've done so far to solve your problem, or just stay positive, and what you need to do moving forward.
C stands for compliment. Compliment yourself on what you're doing well. You already know what you need to do better, so be sure to praise yourself for your effort and what you're already doing right.
K stands for keep it up. Once you've practiced positive self-talk once, don't stop there. Keep going and make it something that you do every day.
Here's one more example, just to show you how it all works. I have a lot of schoolwork to do, but I just don't feel like doing it. Although I have done work like this before, so I already know what to do, really. I work really hard, and even though I don't feel like it now, I know I can do it, and I can do it well. I'll be sure to say this to myself anytime I feel unmotivated to do my work in the future.
Positive self-talk is a good way to help you practice mindfulness and feel better about yourself in the process.
Try to use these examples and our luck method whenever you can.
Alright, that's all for today, but we'd really appreciate it if you breathe with us before you go.
Put one hand on your heart and the other on your belly. Close your eyes or leave them open if you like, and get ready to breathe now.
Breathe in and breathe out.
Breathe in and breathe out.
Last one. Breathe in and breathe out. Thank you everyone for breathing with us.
We'll see you all again next week. But for
Visualization is a powerful tool that can be used to improve your life in many ways. If you are willing to give it a try, you may be surprised at the results. Presenting you a small clip about visualization.
Visualization. Well, these are powerful techniques that involve practicing skills in your head to get better at them in the real world. Anyone can use them no matter what their goal is. The idea is that you imagine in as much detail as possible performing an action like stepping out in front of a crowd or kicking a football in a way that it would happen if everything went perfectly. And you imagine this in your head over and over again. When doing this, you help your brain get used to the experience and you train it for success, boosting your chances of actually succeeding in real life. So let's look at what the science says about how to get the most out of your mental training and visualization. The first tip is to keep them brief and simple. A comprehensive look at research on mental training was conducted in 2011. They found that it's best to spend about 15 seconds visualizing at a time, and if the action takes less than that amount of time to perform, it's best if it's repeated as many times as possible within a 15-second window. So for example, let's say you're practicing playing a guitar chord, which might only take 5 seconds to visualize. In this case, you should visualize this 3 times in one go, and then you should rest for 15 seconds, and then you should repeat it by visualizing playing the chord 3 times again. Now, the question that might come up is, how many times should you repeat this per session? Well, the study found that the optimal amount of repetitions per session was 50 to 75, done 3 to 5 times a week. But if you think that sounds like a lot, don't sweat it, because this is just the ideal amount. Any amount of mental training can still be beneficial, and the good news is that once this training has helped you build the skill in the real world, those improvements stay with you. You don't need to practice visualizing the same thing again afterwards. It's also crucial that your visualizations are simple. Most of us cannot visualize complicated stories involving multiple scenes and senses, but almost all of us can accurately imagine something simple involving just one sense. For instance, we can imagine looking in our mind's eye at a basic object like a cube, or playing a simple sound in our head like the tune "It's a Happy Birthday." So the simpler the visualization, the better and the easier it will be to repeat.
Conquering exams one bite-sized task at a time, a guide to task breakdown for students. Exams loom large in the student's landscape, casting towering shadows that can feel overwhelming. But fear not, intrepid scholar. Just like scaling a daunting mountain, we can break down those seemingly insurmountable challenges into manageable foothills with the power of task breakdown. Forget slogging through endless textbooks and drowning in a sea of notes. Let's embark on a strategic ascent, one bite-sized step at a time. Step 1. Mapping the terrain, identifying your Everests. Gather your bearings. Begin by taking a broad view. What exams lie ahead? Which subjects will you be tested on? What are the specific topics covered in each subject? Don't get bogged down in details yet. Simply establish the general landscape. Zoom in for precision. Now, let's refine the map. Divide each subject into distinct sections or chapters. Think of these as individual peaks on your mountain range, specific targets to conquer one by one. Step 2. Establishing base camp, gathering intel and setting goals. Become a knowledge scout. Before any climb, preparation is key. Gather your resources, textbooks, lecture notes, past exams, practice questions, anything that sheds light on the terrain ahead. Analyze the format and weighing of exam questions to understand what's crucial. Set the compass of your study journey. With your intel gathered, set realistic and achievable goals for each study session. How much ground can you cover in a manageable time frame? 30 to 60 minutes is a good starting point. Don't aim for the summit in one go. Think of yourself as building up your stamina for the longer trek. Step 3. Charting your ascents, chunking it down and prioritizing. Divide and conquer. Remember those individual peaks you identified? Now, it's time to break them down even further. Fragment each section or chapter into bite-sized study tasks, like mastering specific concepts, practicing a type of question, or summarizing a key chapter. These are your footholds on the climb, each leading you closer to the summit. Focus on the crux. Not all peaks are created equal. Identify the challenging areas, the topics with higher exam weightage, or the concepts you find tricky. Prioritize these sections, devoting more time and focus to ensure they become stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Step 4. Scaling the foothills, active learning and focused sessions. One step at a time, tackle your study tasks one by one, giving each your full attention. Avoid multitasking, it's a recipe for mental fatigue and diminished returns. Immerse yourself in the task at hand, savoring the satisfaction of each completed step. Leave the passive behind. Forget rote memorization and passive reading. Embrace active learning methods like summarizing notes, rewriting key concepts in your own words, creating flashcards, or practicing with past exam questions. These engage your brain and solidify knowledge, turning theory into practical understanding. Step 5. Celebrate the vista, rewards and progress tracking. Acknowledge your victories. Don't underestimate the power of small rewards. After completing a study task, take a short break, stretch your legs, or do something you enjoy. These mini celebrations reinforce positive study habits and keep you motivated for the next ascent. Keep your eye on the summit. Track your progress by marking off completed tasks on a checklist or chart. Visualizing your conquered foothills fuels your motivation and reminds you how far you've come. Focus on progress, fueling your climb to exam success. Exams can feel like scaling Mount Everest, daunting, overwhelming, and full of potential pitfalls. But just like any epic climb, conquering exams is all about progress, not perfection. Instead of fixating on the distant summit, focus on the satisfying crunch of each step beneath your boots, the steady rhythm of your ascent, and the breathtaking vista that unfolds with each conquered peak.
A journey to success for students. Here's a video representation on how success works and why you should never give up.
Let me tell you all a story about a mouse named Lori. Yeah, Lori was a mouse in a big brown house. She called herself the hoe with the money, money flow. But fuck that little mouse, 'cause I'm an albatross. I'm an albatross. I'm an albatross. Yeah, Lori said she was a mouse, smoked the cheese and like